let's just go. Let's just try it out. You gotta go. Hello, all you amazingly awesome social distancing teachers out there. I am the hired teacher, Nick Barry, and today we're gonna talk about making learning matter. I've been an educator for a good number of years now, and I've come to learn that if a student thinks that learning is work, they're not gonna wanna do it. Now, of course, this isn't true for all students. Most classrooms are usually made up with students that have a wide variety of motivations. Some of your students' parents might be extremely involved in their child's education, while other sets of parents might have the mindset that you're the teacher, so why don't you just shut up and do your job? It can be extremely difficult to build motivation in a student who doesn't seem to have any. And this is why we have to make the learning matter. So, how do we do it? Gamify the classroom. Now, usually when I say gamify the classroom, a lot of teachers think I'm talking about their total classroom management style. Now, there are programs and web-based applications that let you do this, like Classcraft, for example. In Classcraft, students create and take on the role of a fictional character. Students are also given powers that they can use within the classroom based off of their achievements. One drawback of using such a large program in your classroom is that it can be a lot of work to implement it all at once. What I mean by gamifying your classroom is making smaller changes in how you present your lessons. Let me give you an example. I currently work for a school that has a large ELL or ESL population, depending on the verbiage that your school board uses. Because of this, our main focus is language acquisition and vocabulary development. With this in mind, I created a few fun games for the kids to play. The games focused on vocabulary development while also hiding the fact that they were learning. Let me give you an example. So I created this game called Spelling Tag. Every student receives a sheet with vocabulary words and a set of definitions. All students are like in Revenge Tag. When one student tags another, the student who did the tagging gets to ask the other student a question. They can ask them to define a word or to spell a word. If the tag student gets it wrong, they sit down. If they get it right, they just keep playing. Now I know what you're thinking. This game gives higher achievers an advantage. And at the beginning of the game, you might be right. Also, if a student is down and out, how can they still be learning? If a student's out, they can high-five someone who's still up. If that student who's still up correctly spells or defines the word that got that other student out, the other student who's out comes back into the game. The student who is out, who may also be lower achieving, has now had several interactions with this one new vocabulary word. Additionally, students who lack that initial motivation are now becoming motivated to learn so that they can stay in the game. By the end of the game, it becomes hard for any student to get each other out. They've all developed the given vocabulary. And what's interesting is that you can see the learning happen. At the beginning of the game, you have your students who are getting out left, right, and center. But by the end of the game, they all have that solid foundation of what the vocabs mean and how to spell them. The focus of this lesson then becomes the play. The learning is the byproduct of that play. A lot of students struggle having that learning for learning's sake mentality. That's like saying people work for the sake of working. Learning and working are synonymous to a lot of students. And it's our job as educators to help students find that motivation, especially when they have a tough time finding it themselves. And that's it from me. If you liked the video, consider subscribing maybe, hit that like icon. I'll see everyone next time.